Hi, I'm Bob, a weekend game developer, and I came across this level generating method that's cool and incredibly fast. I would like to start by saying that it's not my idea. I think Quill18 created it, and he made a video about it. You can go check it out. Also, Barky's made a shorter video about it. You can also check this one out. But the main principle is that you can generate a level starting from the pixels of an image. So in my project, I have a resource folder with two images. I will show them, uh, like, let's take this one, that has pixels mostly. So I have black pixels, green ones, blue, and I think a white one. Now in my project, I have a level generator that has an array of colors and prefabs. And what it actually does is when I start the level, at each position of the pixel corresponding to the image, it will spawn a prefab or move my prefabs. We'll get into that a bit later. So if now my scene is empty, but if I start it, you will see that it gets populated with prefabs that corresponds to the exact pattern of this particular image. So first I will show you how I actually generate the levels. I have this online pixel editor, and I have some preset colors. As you see in the project, the color blue is actually for my player. The color black is for a wall prefab that I made. This one. The color green is for trees that I got from an asset pack in Unity. I think it's this free trees asset pack. And the white color is for my element that changes the level if I walk over it. Let's go a bit into what my project contains. Well, I have this level manager object with the script that I'm talking about. Then I have a ground object. I have my player, which is a top-down player type, and then I have a level change object with a level change script. We'll go into the scripts in a bit, but first I would like to show you how it all works. For instance, if I start the game, you'll see that this level change object has some point light in it. If I go over it, it will change my scene, my level somehow. And I will get into the next level, which corresponds to the second picture. Because as I told you, I actually have two pictures in my project. And this one is way more weirder because it has way more trees in it. So this one basically somehow corresponds to this level generated thing. So as I started telling you how I actually implement things or how I generate the level, I have also this preset colors. Black is for wall. Let's say I would like to build something like a maze or something. I would maybe have something like an entrance here. And then green is for trees, maybe just have a couple of trees in front of it. Just make trees all over, doesn't really matter. Blue is for the player. This is the spawn position of the player. This means that when the level starts, the player will be moved here in this particular location. And this is the exit point, which corresponds to the point that the player has to walk for the level to change. The player has to walk to. And then I just have to export this file as a PNG and drag it in my, where's my downloads here? There. Drag it in my level resources, name it maybe level 0, maybe not with caps lock. Make it readable and writable with no filtering and no compression. Barky explains about this in more details. And now if I start the game again, the first level generated will be this new level that I just created. It looks a bit weird because my trees are incredibly big, but you can a little bit see that it somehow corresponds to this sketch over here, right? So I have this enclosure with my exit point in it, and if I walk over to funny, I cannot get past through here. What the fuck? Okay, so I'll do it. I'll rename this one as level 3. These are read in order, so level 1 will be the first level that it's spawned. Now if I go to level 1 and level 2, and I will end up in level 3, right? Okay, so how does this all work? Well, as I told you before, I have this level manager that has a public array of elements named color to prefab mappings. This is Barky's idea, so you should should go check that video out. But as I told you, it has an array of colored through prefabs. It has an array of 2D textures. These are basically my levels. And a level index, so I know all the time at which level I'm at. On the start method, I go to resources and read all the levels. So this basically goes to my resources folder and looks for a folder called levels and reads everything that's in it and stores them in my texture 2D array. And then I generate the first level by mapping a pixel from the image to an actual pixel in the game space. This is again from Barky's solution. The difference is that I have this ability to spawn a prefab or to move a prefab to a position. And I did it like that because, for instance, my top-down player, I don't want it to have as a prefab because it's usually just one game object in the scene. So I always want to move it and not destroy him and create him again. Also, the same with the level change. It can be a prefab, but I need to have a link to level manager in it, so I chose to make it just one standalone game object that I can move, not instantiate and delete afterwards, because I would then lose this link. Because you can see here that if each element has the setup type spawn or move. And another different thing is that these prefabs, the ones that are spawn, are instantiated from an array. So that means that I don't have just I don't just have one prefab, I actually have arrays of prefabs. And you can see this at trees. I have 4 types of trees, but I only instantiate one at one position. And I have more of them because I can create diversity. I don't know if it's easy to see, but right now all these trees are rounded more or less. And if I stop it and play the game again, these trees are supposed to be different. See? Now there are pine trees and stuff like that. That's because the prefabs that get instantiated will always be randomized from the arrays of prefabs, as in this array. That's about it in big picture. It can work with any type of player. I have now here a top-down player model, but I also made the FPS kind of model. The only thing that I have to change now is go to prefabs, and instead of the I had the FPS. Wait. At the FPS one, and now the whole game will be oh yeah, wait, I know why I did it wrong. I have to deactivate the main camera because this FPS already has a camera in it. This is usually this is usually the way you do FPS. You drag your main camera inside the player game object. Now all of a sudden I have an FPS type of game, but the rules are the same. If I go into the light, the level will change, and now I'm in a different level all of a sudden with way more trees, and I cannot find the exit light. Where is it? Somewhere. Yeah, here it is. And now again I'm on a different level, and the exit is here, and I cannot reach it. One more thing I wanted to show you is how to add another element. So I would like to create some enemies. I think I have here enemy game object. Yeah, it's a zombie-like thing. So all I have to do is create it, drag it into the prefabs, make a prefab out of it, and in my level editor, increase my array size, make it 5. Select a color. Now all these colors have to have alpha maximum, and I would go with red, which is FF0000. Okay. I want to spawn it because it's an enemy. I want this to be 1, and I want to spawn an enemy at the red pixel. And now, if I go in here and I clean stuff up, I clean stuff up. Right. I would have to define a new color, which is going to be red, which was FFFF. Yep. And now paint some red squares, and maybe some wall as well, and make some more trees to hide my enemies a bit. Now if I export this, oh yeah, wait, I forgot the game level change. Oh, I should talk about the level change a bit. And if I export my file, and again drag it into the project, and name it maybe level 0 to start with. Also make it read-writable and with no filtering, no compression. Now when I start the game, I will have all these enemies. Oh, I don't know what that happens. Instantiated. Okay, I have some bugs, I think. But I have all these enemies that currently don't do anything. And now I change the level. So a thing that I missed, this level change happens with the method to go to the next level, which basically takes all the children of this level manager and destroys them and generates based new ones based on the new uh, texture 3D, which represents the next image with the next set of pixels. Uh, okay, cool. So I'll have all this code on GitHub if you want to look over it. I know I made a terrible explanation, but it's more of a concept, not of. So I wanted to explain a bit more the concept, not the code, because the code can be probably improved quite a lot. It's a really fast and cool method to generate a couple of levels for a prototype or do them there or hackathons or whatever. Give it a try. Thanks for thanks for sticking with me till the end. Like, share, and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.